long preserved for our walk in this world. They resound with God's own art. Oh, let the ancient words impart. Words of life, words of hope. Give us strength, help us go in this world where'er we roam. Ancient words will guide us home. Ancient words ever true, changing me and changing you. We have come with open hearts. Oh, let the ancient words impart. Holy words of our faith, handed down to this age, came to us through sacrifice. Oh, heed the faithful words of Christ. Holy words long preserved for our walk in this world. They resound with God's own heart. Oh, let the ancient words impart. Ancient words ever true, changing me and changing you. We have come.
Hi, welcome to Verse of the Day. I'm Brandon Hathaway, the preacher at the Westside Church of Christ in Owensboro, Kentucky. I want to thank you for joining me today as we again open up our Bible to study it. Sorry I didn't start when it said go and the time the countdown was down. You can see, trying to figure out where I should be sitting with this computer. Right here, it looks like I'm too bright, and then I face this way, and it looks like I'm too dark with the background back there. I don't know if you can see me that well, so I was trying to find a good spot there. But either way, you can hear me, and therefore you can hear the Word of God. You don't have to see me to be able to know that, to be able to hear that. So today I want to look at Daniel chapter 3. Daniel chapter 3, and look at verses 14 through 18. Daniel 3 and verses 14 through 18. Not talking about Daniel in these passages, but rather talking about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And I'm sure that technically, I think I've heard in the past that it's supposed to be pronounced a little different than that, maybe. Fun thing that I don't think I caught on for a long time is that Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego actually had different names before this, before they went by this, or did it get changed later? Gets changed at one point. Anyways, well, let's look at this. This is when they get thrown into that furnace fire, and I just want to look at the example that leads up to that, not necessarily talk about them in the fire, but I want to read the passages that lead up to that. So, of course, Nebuchadnezzar had put in a mandate, a rule, a law, stating that they are all to bow down to his God, to his gods, his golden image. And anyone who did not do that was going to be punished. And so, of course, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego was not willing to change their faith. And so that's where we're at here in verse 14. Nebuchadnezzar spoke, saying to them, "Is it true, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that you do not serve my gods, or worship the gold image which I have set up? Now if you are ready at this time, you hear the sound of the horn, flute, harp, lyre, and psaltery, and sympathonian, with all kinds of music, and you fall down and worship the image which I have made, good. But if you do not worship, you shall be cast immediately into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. And who is the God who will deliver you from my hands? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we have no need to answer you in this matter. If that is the case, our God, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us from your hand, O king. But if not, let it be known to you, O king, that we do not serve your gods, nor will we worship the gold image, which you have set up. So they were literally put at a crossroads. Do this or die. Obey or die. And they chose to put God first, no matter the consequences. And as you continue to read, and of course that it took place, they did not bow down. And so Nebuchadnezzar had them thrown into the furnace of fire. And the fire was so hot, that it killed the men that were throwing Nebuchadnezzar, or not Nebuchadnezzar, but Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in. And the men who were doing that, they died because it was too hot for them to get that close. But yet, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego was able to walk around in the fire with a fourth person that God had sent down to be with them, delivered them unharmed, because God is faithful in all things. And so I believe this is just an example. I literally just decided to go with this. I was trying to figure out what to go through, and I was looking through different passages, and I was like, I haven't said anything about anything in Daniel in a while, and I thought about Shadrach and Meshach and Abednego, and I just think it's a wonderful example and thought for us today. We have to be willing and ready to stand for God, no matter the consequences. Be willing to make the sacrifice for Him, and stand for the truth, to worship, to teach the truth, no matter if they tell us that we can't preach against sin, whether that's abortion, homosexuality, divorce, adultery, swearing, lying. We have to be willing to stand for the truth, even if it causes us to lose friendships, even if it causes family to choose to not have anything to do with us. You have to put God first. And they give us a great example here. And though we may not be saved physically like them today, to the point that if someone held a gun to your head and said, if you don't curse God, then I'm going to kill you, and you choose to be faithful and you don't curse God, and they pull that trigger, you may not survive physically. But remember, God will reward you spiritually, and that this life is short anyways, and that He will give you an eternal home in heaven where you don't have to face that pain, that suffering, the worries of this world anymore. So it's worth remaining faithful. It's worth overcoming that test, that temptation that anyone gives to you today. I want to thank you for joining me today. I'm so glad to be able to continue to do this and be able to reach out to one another. It's always encouraging as others get on here with me. Again, I want to welcome anyone who's going to be in the area tomorrow here in Owensboro, Kentucky, to come and join us for worship. We're going to be meeting at 9:30 for our Bible class, 10:30 for our worship service, and then if you're going to be passing through the evening, or you're going to remain here, we'll be having our evening services at 5 p.m. And next week, on October 25th, we invite you to come back. We're having a gospel meeting. We're having Brother Sean Bain come down and present a few lessons Sunday through Wednesday, and it'll be regular times on Sunday, 9:30, 10:30, and 5 o'clock, and then Monday and Tuesday at 7, and then Wednesday at 6:30. So, hope you have a good day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.